You know, until a person really enters into walking in agape love for all mankind, especially the church, they really don't get it. They really don't get it. If you get the mind of Christ, it's all about souls. It's all about, understanding that the devil's confused people, mind control people, the media, the news. It's all about dog eat dog world. Everybody's fighting everybody else, and everybody's fighting for survival down here. And it's like the human is supposed to represent humanity. That's why humane society, right? The human's supposed to be a human, but the humans become a beast. And so you're born in sin, and you're pretty much in beast mode until you get saved, And even if you're not there's some people, you're born in this place, and because God has a calling on your life, even before you get saved, you're trying to be nice to people and kind and all that, and you're trying to help people even though they're trying to kill you, or trying to manipulate you, think you're naive and stupid and all. The psychopath and the sociopath. I had a sister in Christ tell me this one time. She said, the psychopath pretty much tells you to your face that they want to kill you, but at the same time they're saying they love you. The sociopath, psychopath, the witch. I had a family member one time who was so good at double talk, double speak. She said, I love them so much I just want to squeeze them to death. And that's what the witches do. They use double speak, double talk. They actually want to kill somebody, but they make it sound like they love them, It's so bizarre. It's so hard to believe that people are that evil, but then when you get in the corporate world, you see that's what it is, It's the reason that the narcissistic psychopaths rise up in the corporate world, become CEOs, because that's what it is. It's a dog eat dog world. Instead of people being humane and helping each other and encouraging and building up and being a team, and I'm talking about being a team legit, not fake. Yeah, they want you to be a team if you're going to sacrifice for them, but they don't want to sacrifice for you. You understand? And so they cut employees. Twitter cut all employees, work everybody else to death. People never really get to take their vacation. They get promised all this stuff, and it never happens. It's just ridiculous. It's insanity. In order to rise up in the system, you have to almost become like the system. And if you don't become like the system, they step on you and laugh at you and make stuff up, and you're just trying to be humble down here and follow Christ, and even your own born again family don't understand you a lot of times because they're still caught up in the system. And it's like, come on, let it go, be real, be genuine. If you got to change who you are, that's why I chose a field. I might not make a lot of money, but I could be who I am. I'm not going to change my personality or my core person just to compromise for money and the system. Long story short, this whole game that we're playing down here in this simulated training program is so complex until you see it. You really don't know what's going on. You really don't know what's going on. And so when you walk in agape love, after you see the Shekinah glory, or God gets you gloriously saved, or you have some kind of overwhelming experience where you just love your neighbors yourself, even if they do hate you, even if they do want to stab you in the back, even if they do whatever they do, you still love them with God's love. And to really rightly divide this reality, you got to rightly divide the words. You got to understand the Greek, the Hebrew. I mean, not that you have to learn it, but you have to understand that the word, even the word love in the English language is not descriptive enough, because there's 4 kinds of love. And so the more you study and open your mind to the truth and seek the truth, you realize there's more to life than just surface. I love my dog, I love my neighbor, I love my cat, I love my wife, I love my truck, I love my routine, I love my new wallet or my new shoes. What does that mean? That don't even apply. Agape love is God's love. Storge love is family love. Phileo love is Philadelphia love, brotherly love. Eros is romantic love. So when you say you love somebody, which one is it? When you're operating in your daily routine, which one is it? Are you operating in God's love? Are you operating in lust? Are you operating in friendship or family? Which one is it? When you go to the corporate reality, you punch into the corporate land, you're walking in agape love, but other people who don't even know that there's 4 kinds of love, they're operating in, they don't even know what they're operating in. So you're giving out agape love in society, right? But there's somebody over here and they're always in lust. They only think about eros love. Or you got somebody over here they're always just thinking about Philadelphia love, friendship love, phileo. And then you got somebody who's storge love. They probably didn't have a family, so they're looking for a family, so they're just trying to find a family, and they're only walking in storge love. But they never experienced agape love. They don't even know what it means. So when you open your mind more and more and see that, which kind of spirit am I operating in? Am I operating in the base nature or the higher nature? Am I operating in storge, phileo, agape? What am I operating in? And if you're not self-aware, you'll never understand what's going on. I know things I can't even talk about because it's so off the roof, nobody would believe it. But I know I'm operating in agape love because God gave it to me, and especially for the church. And so the church are my brothers and sisters. Every single born-again member of the church I love with agape love and phileo love, brother and Philadelphia love. Storge would be in your local family, if you have a family. If you don't have a family, it might be I don't know who it would be. But my point is, it could be your church family that's like a family. So your church family could be agape, phileo, storge, if you don't have a bloodline. But if you do have a bloodline family, is not saved, you might have the storge love, and you have agape love, but they see it as a different, like they can manipulate you because they're in the law, they're in the unsaved. I don't care if it's family, I don't care who it is that you're rubbing shoulders with who's not born again. They're just trying to manipulate you, and they're trying to use some kind of weird love game to manipulate you. If it's a romantic thing, they're trying to use that romance to manipulate you if they're not saved. If it's family, they're trying to use that storge love to manipulate you. If it's a friend that's not saved that you've known all your life, they're going to choose the phileo love to try to manipulate you. If it's a born again, they're not trying to manipulate you because they're letting God convict you of sin, righteousness, and judgment, and they know that you're going to hold them accountable, they're going to hold you accountable. And so my point is, if you don't understand that there's different meanings of a word, going back to the Greek, you're not going to get it. You're going to be confused. And the biggest takeaway I want to throw out here in this short little drive is that people can only operate in what they are, and if they're not born again, they never experienced agape love, so they're in those other three. But those other three that they're in is manipulative. It's all about me. And so my point is, I haven't had anything to drink this morning. I got this water bottle, but I wanted to do this message while it was on my mind. My point is, if a person's hasn't experienced the love of God, the agape love of God, and they don't understand the different frameworks that you're operating in with different people, if people don't understand that, they're not going to be able to function down here. They're going to be confused. And this is why it's important to rightly divide the word of truth. Because if you don't rightly divide the word of truth, you're going to be confused. And you're not going to be able to fight these weird attacks from who knows who. It could be anybody. Family, friends, neighbors. If you can get down into the word, rightly divide it. Let's say you have a friend going through something. Let's say there's somebody in your life going through something. You can't understand what they're going through unless you can rightly divide the system yourself. This whole reality is based on words. That's why you describe everything with a word. When the baby comes out, they name the baby. When they invent something, they give it names. And there's only 4 words that they can really unfold to get that new invention or device or whatever. Cut, turn, union, flow. You already know all things, you just don't know that you know all things. They don't come up with new words. They just put words together and make a new word, but it's just pieces of old words put together to look like a new word, but like computer. Just break it into parts and you'll realize it's compute. A computer is no just different than compute, and it goes back to digit, your fingers, counting with your fingers. So any kind of new invention, they're using old words to put them together and create a new word, but it's really the old word. There's nothing new. Long story short, if you're operating in agape love and everybody around you's operating in some other kind of love and some kind of twisted upside down love, don't be surprised if they lose their mind because you don't respond to whatever they expect, because they see you, they only interpret what you're doing according to what they can understand. If they're not at your level, they can't even understand you. It's like an alien. You're in the alien, they're down here in the natural, you're in the spiritual, and they can't even understand who or what you are.